Since I am allowed to go to my other properties, I am on my way to go work on my little house that I have. You know, I did my stencil video last week. I had a very lackluster response to it, and I am sure people are stressed out, right? We're all stressed out about what's going on. And I was gonna do part 2 of my stencil project today, and I opted to do this video called Real Estate Don't Freak Out.
I'm Randy Vaughn, and this is Michigan Flip.
I'm the real deal. I look for dilapidated properties that need work, time, energy, money. I renovate, I hire, I fire, I get injured, I get filthy. I deal with contractors, I deal with men and women, the dead creatures and the living creatures. Whatever it takes to get a house back on the market. And I share my experiences with you. Why? If I can do this, you can do this. I want to just explain why I say don't freak out. The coronavirus obviously has halted the real estate market in Michigan, and I would say overall in general in the United States. They are freaking out, unfortunately. I have a listing, the buyer backed out yesterday. Like, as soon as the governor put that freeze, that lockdown on Michigan, the buyer to my listing got really nervous and backed out. But here's something really interesting. Even though my buyer backed out, I have another buyer ready to go. You've got people that have been holding on to their funds, waiting for this moment to cash in on some good deals. We've got some street repair going on, and I am stuck for I don't know how long. That guy's working. He got his working papers he's looking at, right? I think that there will be, and there are some people that are panic selling. I just don't think it's a good idea. Up until the pandemic hit the US, we were running strong in real estate. Every agent that I know in Michigan and even extending out west to California, everybody was busy. Agents were listing properties, agents were closing on properties, they were getting multiple offers. However, it was starting to taper off and slow down. It was no surprise it was starting to taper off. It was due time to level out. Now, are we heading for a recession, and a recession in real estate specifically? Are houses going to drop in price? My broker brought up some really good points, the difference between now and the last real estate market crash. First of all, we don't have a market crash. We have a global shutdown, essentially. The economy, the market, whether or not that becomes a market crash for real estate, nobody knows. I watched a podcast from my broker, so thank you, Matt Stillman, for bringing this information. There are 5 points brought up that show that this pandemic should not send a crash into the real estate market. So I'm going to tell you what those 5 points are, and then you decide for yourself. The first thing that's different from now in 2008 is that mortgage companies were giving mortgages out like in a penny candy store. So it was just super easy to buy a house, and everybody was, maybe not doing deals so legit-like, and there was a lot of shenanigans. Since that time, we've definitely tightened the noose on regulations and laws in mortgaging and appraising and the whole process of buying a house in the real estate market. So that's different now. The lending process is much more monitored and regulated. The next thing that is very different from 2008 is the supply and demand. So back in 2008, there was a lot of supply, but the demand wasn't as great. See, now in 2020, we have a massive demand and a smaller supply. So that changes the parameters of going into a recession market. So point 3 would be affordability. So now homes are more affordable. Back in 2008, home prices were really high, and you still had lenders making mortgages for those high home prices. But they didn't make sense because people couldn't really afford them. Now people can afford the properties that they are buying. Hey, lady. Ladies here. So back in 2008, we had $800 billion in refinancing loans. Now we are at $200 billion in refinanced loans. So the refinanced money is significantly less, which means there are less Americans that are in debt for refi. So the fifth point is Zillow. They've done studies on data collected from various different health crises that have happened throughout history, and the home prices have not really been affected by it. For this health crisis, we can be hopeful that the prices would again not be affected. It's really important that we stay on top of how home price trends are going, because it will be affecting the economy overall. So stay optimistic. I'm going to stay optimistic. I've got lots of stuff to do, keep myself busy. You guys want to get some projects going on at your house, some home projects? The home improvement stores will be open. They are considered essentials, like Home Depot, Lowe's, if you're in the Midwest, Menards. People are getting prepared to be stuck at home, where we're locked down in Michigan at least for 3 weeks.
Our world seems to have changed overnight. We will get through this pandemic. As I drive to my project house in just over a mile, I realize there are many flags flying high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I had never noticed them before.
Thanks for tuning in this week. Maybe you wanted to see some projects, but my next video will definitely be my stencil video. I'll put that one out, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and I will see you next time.